have seen people talk about the fact that, well, at least Jeff Bezos picked a woman, second wife, so to speak, who is age appropriate. And I will say that's valid. However, and I heard somebody else say this, but it makes a lot of sense. Oftentimes we think of, like, I think like regular people who aren't in the sort of billionaire circle or whatever. And there's also like a message in like kind of the manosphere or like the new money guys or things like that or whatever, that if a guy gets enough money, he's just gonna get himself like the youngest, hottest, sexiest, naive, submissive, unintelligent woman, and like that's his prize, so to speak. And you don't see as many billionaires doing that as you would think. It happens. I'm not saying it doesn't. However, I heard someone say this. They were talking about having a conversation with like somebody in like the billionaire circle. He was explaining that like when you get to a certain level of like wealth, and I think this especially applies to like billionaires who are, you know, relatively self-made, like men in particular who have really had to work at succeeding and have succeeded at a really high level. You have to have a certain level of competitiveness in order to get to that level. And oftentimes if you are like a very competitive, business-minded male billionaire, dating like a 19-year-old like uneducated woman who really hasn't experienced life very much, not really a challenge. She's never been on a yacht before. Of course she's gonna be impressed with your yacht. She'd be impressed with a yacht that was half that size. Like, it's not that hard to win over a really young, naive, inexperienced woman. However, a woman who may be a little bit older, not older than him, but like a woman who's like lived life, and also a woman who has dated or been married to like other billionaires or other wealthy, successful men, are a bigger challenge. And a man winning over a woman like that would be considered more successful because like this woman's already been on a yacht. She's already traveled the world. But like if she likes your yacht, then like that means you've got something. That means you've achieved something that has won her over.